What's up, Transit? I'm Sammer.
I'm Beth.
I'm Shane.
I'm Jean, and today we are talking about...
Well, it's something that isn't always easy to talk about.
But also something everyone is already talking about.
Guys.
Girls.
flirting,
Dating.
Heartbreaks.
And breakups.
first kiss.
First crush.
Do they like how I look?
Do I like how I look?
And maybe even a little about sex. You know it, and I know it. Relationships are everywhere.
With relationship statuses changing so quickly,
I mean, one day they're your friend, and the next day they're your crush.
And there's no better time than now to set
relationship goals.
So I want to start off by asking you a question. What's your favorite season?
fall.
Winter.
Spring,
Or summer? Maybe you're all about fall. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, all the colors on the trees are beautiful, and of course, we all love a great fall drink. Give me a pumpkin spice latte all day.
But if fall isn't your thing, maybe winter is your favorite. You don't mind the cold and you love your cute winter outfits and Ugg boots. Winter gives us an excuse to stay inside and play our favorite video games. And it's hard to not like getting all cozy next to the fireplace.
or maybe you're all about spring. Flowers are in bloom, everything is coming out of winter and beginning to warm up in that nice spring sunshine.
Or maybe summer's your season. You're all about the beach, hot pool days, tanning, popsicles, and the best part, there's no school.
No matter what your favorite season is, here's what's true. Every season has something unique about it. Every season brings something different to the table. And there are some things you do in one season that you'd never do in another season.
Think about it. You'd never go to an outdoor pool in the middle of winter. You wouldn't walk around in your favorite puffer jacket and Uggs on a warm spring day. You wouldn't sip hot chocolate while you lay out on the beach during summer vacation.
Now, why is this the case? Because there's some things that are meant to be experienced and enjoyed in one season and not in another season. Things intended for the uniqueness of one season, they can't be fully enjoyed when they're taken out of the intended season that they were created for.
Another way to think about it is this. All things in life have a unique time and place to be experienced and enjoyed. In fact, King Solomon, one of the former kings of Israel and the wisest person who ever lived, had a lot to say about this very idea in the book of Ecclesiastes.
Listen to what King Solomon said. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
He says that every activity, everything we do, everything that we desire, every activity under the heavens has a time and a place. And he goes on with this long list of things in order to emphasize that God, who created everything, also created a time and a place for everything.
There is a time and place for everything in life, including dating and sex. Maybe you're immediately wondering, okay, when is the time and where is the place? Some of you are thinking, why does it matter? And others are thinking, no, I know, the time is now.
Just like so many other things in life, God created sex to be experienced and enjoyed at a unique time and in a special context. And that time and context isn't middle school.
Now, before you write me off, stick with me for just a second. Did you know that God created sex? Yeah, it was his idea. Sex isn't bad. Having those desires isn't bad. God created all of it. But as the creator of it all, God also knows the best place for it. God creating sex for a unique time and place can only mean one thing, that it is so special and so awesome and so powerful that if we take it out of the context he created it for, it ruins his best for you and for me.
It's kind of like this. I want you to think about a fire for a second. Fire is this incredibly powerful and beautiful thing. When fire is in its proper context, like a fire pit or a fireplace, it's beautiful and mesmerizing. When fire is in its proper place, it's useful. It can be enjoyed, it keeps you warm. You can even use it to make s'mores or dinner at a campsite.
But when fire is used outside of its proper place, it becomes dangerous and potentially deadly. When fire is taken out of the fire pit or fireplace, disaster ensues. It does ridiculous damage, and it leaves a wreckage of burnt ashes behind. See, fire is powerful and it can be enjoyed in the right context. But when you remove it from where it was intended to be enjoyed, it can turn pretty bad pretty quickly.
The same is true for sex. God created sex for marriage, and in that context, it's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing gift from God. But when you take sex out of the context of marriage, this powerful, beautiful thing called sex actually becomes dangerous. Remember, sex is not bad, but at the wrong place and at the wrong time, it can leave you in a place you never wanted to be. Using sex in a way that God never intended will leave you hurt, confused, and even full of regret. And God doesn't want that for you.
In fact, the reason God created boundaries for sex isn't because he is holding out on you, it's because God wants what's best for you. God has a plan for dating and sex, and that plan is the absolute best place to be.
It's the safest place to be.
It's the healthiest place to be.
It's the most promising place to be.
It's the place you want to be.
Now, for some of you, if you're honest for a second, you might think that you've already messed up that plan. Maybe you think that you've already missed out on God's best for your life in this area of your life. But here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. God's best is still available for you. There is a grace that forgives and a love that redeems always. You need to hear that it is never too late to step into God's best for your life.
For all of us, no matter where you are, in order to experience God's best for this area of our lives, we have to trust God with what he says about sex. And I'm telling you, you can trust him. He isn't trying to keep anything from you. It's quite the opposite. You can trust God because he wants the best for you. You can have the best relationship goals so that you can have the best relationships now and later.
What if sex really does have a unique time and place? And what if that time and place isn't middle school? What if God has placed those boundaries in place because he loves you and he wants what's best for you? And how would that change the way that you view sex now? How would that impact your relationship goals? Knowing that God wants what's best for you is why you should trust him with this important area of your life.
As you head to small group today, think about the answer to this question. What is the best context for sex?